Hey, welcome back, folks, to Max Nave Horsemanship. And today I think I'm going to continue on a bit of a theme that I started a couple of videos ago. I was talking about making a calm horse and a horse that wants to be with you. And I think today I'm going to talk a little bit about youngsters because I don't have one around here right now to show you what to do or anything, but I think in a few months I might, but we'll see when that time comes. At the moment, though, I want to talk about it anyhow because it is important, because some of you are going to be getting youngsters soon in the spring, and that seems to be what people do. And well, regardless of how young they are, I think I talked about this before, is how old is too old or too young for training. Well, you can start handling them and teaching them a little bit of ground manners pretty much from day one. It's one of those things that you don't have to work them hard or anything like that. And a lot of people will go, oh, you shouldn't make them do anything at all. Well, if you ever watch one of them little babies when they get the zoomies and they go ripping around and bucking and kicking like crazy, it's like, I don't think there's anything you could do to that little feller that's going to be any worse than what they do to themselves. Well, something to think about anyhow, but that's not really the point of what I wanted to talk about. What I want to talk about today, though, is, when it comes to training, and I believe I've mentioned this before once or twice maybe, I don't know, there's no set structure as to how long. And if you're really observant, you'll figure it out. Because even with an older horse like this one, if I was trying to teach her something new, she's got her limits before she gets frustrated and annoyed and, well, we're just not going to make progress anymore. Youngsters, it's even more important because, well, that's where you establish this horse that wants to be with you. And, well, you'll notice here's the lead. It's not on her. Where is she? She's with me. And, but that's something that starts from a long time ago. It's not something that you can develop in a few minutes. It takes a long time. And when you're teaching your horse something, to prevent it from getting frustrated and overwhelmed by things, you got to go slow. You got to take your time. And, well, youngsters, particularly, like weanlings, that sort of thing, or up to 2 years old even, they really do have a limited attention span. They're like little kids, They don't, they find something interesting for a little while, but it's not long, and, well, that's it. They've had it. So if in the future, when you have a youngster, if you want it to really want to be with you, and you want to develop a willingness, like I said, you always got to, end on a good note. Well, part of that is, particularly with the youngsters with their rather short attention spans, you got to know when to quit. And sometimes only 10 or 15 minutes you can accomplish a fair bit, and that's time to quit. Youngsters in particular, like I said, they got short attention spans, and, half hour, 3/4 of an hour, that might be plenty. Full hour sessions, which a lot of people seem to think is the thing to do, that might be a little too much. And at that point, the horse stops learning, it's getting frustrated, it doesn't like the fact that you're making it do things, and then you're ending on a bad note. And then the horse sees you coming the next time, and it's like, no, I'm getting away from this guy, I don't like what they do. So part of teaching a horse to be calm and happy to be with you starts from day one, starts with the youngsters. And like I said, remember, with youngsters, pay attention. They got very limited attention spans, and they'll get real frustrated real easy if you put too much pressure on them. As they get a little older, you can do a little more with them, but particularly up to a couple of years old, they're really kids. They're really kids, and they don't have a great deal of attention span. They get frustrated easily, and pretty soon they don't want to be with you learning things or doing things, or they don't even want to be with you. But if you take your time, go slow, and one of the things I've said many times is, use as much pressure as necessary, but no more than necessary. Very important aspect. And taking your time is sometimes the fastest way to get things done. Because in the end, you do want a horse that wants to be with you and is willing to listen to you and learn from you, because that can make your life a whole lot easier in many, many ways. And that is ultimately what you want. So take your time, go slow. Don't get in a hurry to get things done. I did an entire video on the subject of the biggest mistake people make is getting in too big of a hurry to get in the saddle. And well, not just getting in the saddle. Take your time, be gentle, go slow. You're still going to get it done. And honestly, it may seem like you're not accomplishing anything, but actually if you're gentle enough and slow enough with them youngsters, they learn pretty darn quick. And well, if you're always like that every time you do things with them, they're going to be more willing to learn from you all the time. They're going to be more willing to be with you all the time. And each and every step along the way is going to be easier if you don't get in a hurry. I mean, if it takes you an extra 10, 15 minutes, so what? You're going to be with that horse for the next 15 years. An extra 10, 15 minutes is nothing. So slow down, take your time, be gentle, go easy on the horse, and you'll be surprised what you can accomplish. It's a lot easier than you think. All you got to do is be patient. Have a good day.